Hello, everyone. Yesterday, Michigan Governor Whitmer proposed tax cuts, more mental health workers in her State of the State address. Let's go over it and see what she wants to do. Hello, everybody. All right, this is Jeff, your Michigan realtor. Wanted to get with you talking about our Michigan Governor's State of the State address yesterday. And let's see exactly what she wants to propose, shall we? All right, so our Michigan Governor Whitmer proposes tax cuts, more mental health workers in her speech. From Lansing, Michigan, flush with the surplus state revenues, Democrat Governor Gretchen Whitmer on Wednesday called for a series of targeted tax cuts while outlining her legislative agenda and touting bipartisan accomplishments before she is up for re-election. During her second straight State of the State speech, virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic, she called for exempting retirement income from taxation, saving $500,000 households an average of $500 a year, and fully restoring a credit for 730,000 low and moderate wage families who, on average, would get an extra $350 a year. She proposed a $2,500 state credit for the purchase of an electric vehicle and charging equipment on the heels of General Motors announcing a $7 billion investment in Michigan to convert a factory to make electric pickup trucks and to build a new battery cell plant. Other new initiatives include adding hundreds of mental health providers and lowering the cost of insulin. I believe that whenever possible, we should make taxes more fair for our seniors and working families. Michiganders should be able to keep more of what they've earned, Whitmer said from an auto supplier, Detroit Diesel's plant in Bedford Township, flanked by an all-electric vehicles, saying places like it are where Michigan's future will be forged. It was believed to be the first time a governor gave annual remarks outside Lansing since it became the state capital 175 years ago. Governors began delivering addresses in person at some point in the 20th century, State Archivist Mark Harvey said. Whitmer had planned to again address lawmakers in a joint legislative session on the Capitol, as it is tradition, until the Omicron variant fueled record high reported infections and hospitalizations. While 2021 wasn't as miraculous as any of us wanted, we have made progress, she said one of the pandemic during the 25-minute speech. We are stronger in large part thanks to science and life-saving vaccines. We have come a long way, and I'm encouraged about the path ahead. I cannot say that. The optimistic governor said despite the coronavirus, she and the Republican-led legislature have made strides funding education, adding auto jobs, fixing roads, and lowering car insurance premiums. One goal, she said, is increasing the number of mental health workers. She proposed expanding a program through which the state repays up to $200,000 in student loans for those who work in nonprofit clinics in areas where there is a shortage of health care professionals. And she said she will propose another bold investment in her budget to boost funding of mental health employees in schools as part of a plan that would mark the biggest education funding hike in more than 20 years. Republican legislators also support a tax cut, though they may push for one that is broader. A Senate committee earlier this Wednesday passed a bill that would cut state income and corporate taxes and reinstate a child tax credit. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey said it will sit in the Senate while analysis and talks continue. I think all the options that we can possibly have on the table to returning money to citizens is a very good thing, and I can't wait to roll up our sleeves and get involved with it, he told reporters. Whitmer, whose management of the pandemic faced fierce GOP resistance over a year until her administration lifted capacity restrictions and mask mandates when vaccines became widely available, remembered the 30,000 plus residents who died from the COVID-19. But she otherwise focused on pocketbook and other topics and steered clear of contentious issues, except to briefly say she would veto any attempt to restrict the right to abortion. She asked, for instance, legislatures give final approval to House-passed legislation that would cap out-of-pocket insulin costs at $50 a month. The first-term governor will face voters in more than 9 months, and it is unclear the extent to which she and Republicans can find common ground in an election year. But a $5.8 billion surplus and unprecedented amount of federal discretionary pandemic aid provide opportunities for major infrastructure and other spending. Whitmer's bipartisan message did not stop the state GOP from questioning claims of progress and blaming her for unemployment in some school districts' transition to virtual instruction amid the latest coronavirus surge. She said remote learning is not as fulfilling or conducive to a child's growth, pledging to do everything we can to keep kids in school. I want to be crystal clear. Students belong in the classroom, she said. So basically, in some visitors, they got a lot of things they need to be able to deal with. And she's going up for re-election this year. So she is going to try and say whatever she needs to, just like everybody who would be in her position would, to try and make sure that she gets reelected. So, if nothing else, there is a bunch of good things that are happening in Michigan. We now have a new plant that's going to be coming up. We're retrofitting a plant that's going to be just trying to be able to look for the future in electronic vehicles. So that's going to create a lot of jobs. There's going to be a whole bunch of different things that can happen, especially with batteries, because there's one of the major things I do recall that we need to be able to get away from. Semiconductors and batteries are a major thing that we need to start to be able to manufacture back here in the United States again. So this will be coming along and should be pretty nice. So that's basically what she wants to get going for 2022. All of it does look quite nice. So if we can be able to get the stuff going and be able to get some of these tax cuts happening, hey, that'd be a good thing only for Michigan. So that's what's going on. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and like what you see. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.